Dane County election officials say after poll workers went into the election with some safety concerns about disruptive poll watchers, the biggest issue they ended up facing was a big voter turnout.
Arman Rahman shows us how things played out at the polls.
Yeah, guys, just like Town of Middleton's unprecedented turnout, the story was similar in other parts of Dane County. I spoke to Fitchburg's city clerk over the phone today who said most of their long lines were due to hundreds registering to vote on Election Day. County officials say overall the atmosphere was positive.
People were really engaged in their democracy and wanting to protect it, both the poll workers and the voters.
That's what Dane County Clerk Scott McDonald says looking back on Election Day.
There was a lot of positive energy that way all day throughout the county yesterday.
There wasn't just a lot of positive energy, there were a lot of voters. In some parts of Dane County, turnout was higher than 85%.
The polling places were busy. There were some lines, longer and shorter ones.
In the town of Middleton, those lines were as long as 2 hours as poll workers processed 294 voters per hour. McDonald says that town and other communities may need to split polling into 2 locations.
In a lower turnout election, you can kind of get away with doing it in one place. But when you have a November election, you can't have 6,000 voters in one location. It just doesn't work well. Really, 3,500 is kind of the max.
Looking at some of the competitive races on the ballot, some poll workers requested active shooter and de-escalation training for potential safety threats. But on the day of, McDonald says everything went smooth.
We had worries about what might happen. There might be people being disruptive in the polling location, but overall things went really well.
There was a strong effort to have more partisan poll workers observing the elections.
What that allows is people to learn how much security is involved, how the election is actually run, because there's a lot of misinformation out there.
McDonald hopes this shows people thinking about volunteering in the future that the process is secure and safe.
This democracy needs you to volunteer and help protect it. It's hard for people to be rude and aggressive to their neighbors. So when you're there, it makes a big difference.
And County Clerk McDonald says the day after Election Day was just as busy. They're now getting ready to have votes canvassed, certify the results, and plan for any potential recounts.